You were banished because you were clumsy.
You mightn't be saying that. Annie? Big overfish. Huge on teeth.
There's always a bigger fish.
Always a bigger fish.
Welcome back to the Star Wars Guys podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Mike,
Hello there.
myself, Nate. Hello there. And you know him well. Uncle.
I was waiting to see.
Hello there.
Doesn't everyone know him so well at this point? I love it.
Man, listen, if you don't
know him
him
very
The
well.
very first time I was
Welcome.
on, you know him well. I was like, what?
you know,
Is that
you know him
how-
well, making his internet debut
Meanwhile,
on
on the
Chris
podcast.
Office.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Joe, say hello there.
Well, hello there.
Oh, that was. I want to say Child Obi-Wan, which
Child
we've never
Obi-Wan, I
gotten.
love
We
it.
didn't.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe
we
that's
got
something we talk about.
Tie-in.
No, I love it. I love it. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be
Meaningless
talking
chants.
about stories we'd like to see. Star Wars stories we'd like to see in the future. Could be projects, could be a game, could be a show, could be whatever. Things that we want to
Think
see
about
in
that.
Star Wars. Just going to have some fun with it. So if you're watching live, throw some of your ideas in the chat. What do you want to see? It could be an era, Old Republic, High Republic.
Could be as specific or as broad as.
Yeah, it could be a certain character you want to deep dive on, a movie, a show, whatever it is. And then we're just going to, speculate and come up with some stories and dive into it.
Yeah.
Mike came up with a topic.
Yes. Well, you mean with the topic for the podcast? Or
Yeah,
with
for
the specific
tonight's episode,
topic?
I was gonna.
Yes,
so I was
yes.
gonna ask: was there something specific in mind that you had when you thought of that?
Oh, I have some specifics. But before we get to that, this is a little chit chat. Sometimes people do chit chat before they get into deep topics on their podcasts. And as someone who's on a podcast, just like the two of you, I thought that we could engage in a little chit chat. So this is a very
Spontaneous
smooth
chit-chat,
way of
perfectly
getting some
planned and
spontaneous chit
set
chat.
up.
No, this is actually a little bit of not really news, but I saw this was kind of going around. This was funny. I want to bring this up because I know that we would get a kick out of it. Sebastian something or other. I don't remember the guy's name. It's not Maniscalco.
Or
But
Shaw.
or the Crab. It's
Or
not Sebastian the
Shaw.
Crab
Ah,
either.
saw that.
Everyone's
yeah.
favorite
Saw that
Sebastian.
yesterday.
Under
That's
the
great.
sea, Ariel. Under the
Uh,
sea.
Ariel.
It's the actor who plays Axe Woves.
Oh,
had a very
okay.
had a very funny video going around. He was interviewed and he was talking about his character and how much he loved. Like people got to see more of him this year and learn a little bit more about him. And he was basically asked like, when a character gets a greater opportunity like that, do you also dive into the character's like backstory more or learn more about them than you did in like your brief kind of
Introduction.
the brief
or whatever,
introduction
yeah.
in season 2. And he said, yeah, it was awesome. Like, as someone who's a big Star Wars fan, I was really excited. With some people, I guess he had said on a different podcast somewhere, but he said, some of you may have heard recently I was sharing a story that's about how Axe Woves got his name. Actually comes from George Lucas himself on the day he visited the set. And I thought this was really funny. He said the day that George
Really?
Lucas visited the set in whether it was season 1 or season 2, when he first visited, or maybe it was in season 2 when he visited. He said this comes from Filoni, because the character who plays Axe Woves said, I didn't hear this from his mouth, but Filoni told me directly that this is why the character is named Axe Woves.
Yeah.
And he said they're sitting there and George is on set and they're kind of looking around, and kind of spontaneously out of nowhere, George turns to Dave and says, we should have a character named Axe Woves. And Filoni goes,
Wow.
he just goes, yeah, okay, that sounds great. He's like, yeah, that's a pretty cool name, Axe Woves. And they're like, yeah, sure.
It's
It's
awesome.
like, so we had a Mandalorian character who said, he'll be Axe Woves. George's like, yeah. It's so funny because it's,
we
It
should have
is,
a character named Axe
well,
Woves.
he just said we should, and
Just out of the
led
blue.
into, and so he said, so it was out of the blue. It wasn't even like, hey, that character should be named this. It was
just
just
a character.
you should have a character. You should. He's gonna give him a little bit
You
of
should
like,
have
you
a-
should have a character named Axe Woves. And
It's
he's
a good
like,
name.
okay, like sounds good. And then the final part of this is, I then saw a tweet
That's
on
great.
Twitter related to this. That someone had posted this video and said, I love that in like 2023, the majority, or like in most recent years, the majority of George Lucas stories we get are something that's like, hey, this character will be named Beebity Doobity, and everyone's like, genius, genius, George, genius. It shall now be Beebity Boobity. Like George can say anything at this point, and everyone's like, it came from George. This is now true canon. This is the best.
Yeah.
But like, it's George.
It is a good name.
It's a great name.
It
But
sounds like Star Wars.
This reminded me, and this is the
Axe
final piece of
Woves.
this. I was talking with our older brother, Matt, who is in town, and Matt was saying he remembers hearing a number of years ago a funny story about, I think it was for a video game, that one of these video games wanted, this was, again, years ago, I think it was pre-sale to Disney, and it was, they wanted George, like George would give his stamp of approval for certain books or certain projects.
Yeah.
And it like meant a lot to be like, oh, George approved of this character. Or George
Yeah.
had a little influence, and just even saying that George Lucas was on set for The Mandalorian, people were like, oh, he's not really influencing a ton, maybe, but he's there, and so he kind of approves of it. And
Yeah.
a number of years ago, there was a, I can't remember which project it was. They were naming a bad guy for, they're naming a bad guy for like the big bad of the game. And the story is like that the creators of the game had a name that was like they weren't sure if they loved the name yet, and they were like, here's kind of
But
a
had one in
we
mind.
have this on we have this kind of stored away
Names
if we
are
can't think of
tricky.
one.
Because
Yeah.
they never sound right, but they never. You're like, is that
And you're not.
Sound
and
right?
so they were
Yeah.
excited
is it
because they were
too
like,
weird? Is it too normal?
yeah.
Right.
So they're big bad. They were excited because George was coming to set, and they were like, we're gonna
Shoot
ask
it
George.
down.
We're gonna ask George
Awful.
not an advance. We're not even gonna
Atrocious.
ask him if he likes our name. We're just gonna ask like, what do you think this character like? If it was you, like we need a name for a good big bad character. Do you have a good name? And this is a true story. George said he thought about it, and George said, well, he's bad. Maybe Darth. Kind of like Darth Icky. And they said they were like trying not to laugh, but then they found he was serious.
Yeah.
Said Darth Icky, and then he was like, and then he waited for a while and pondered, and he said, or like if you want to get a little more out there, maybe like Darth Insanius. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, of course. And they're like, we're doing our own thing. So
Right.
they're like Darth. In an actual true moment, this is just how we know even George and all of his in his great wisdom created stuff, he's also capable of coming up with Darth Icky.
Well,
And
yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's
And, you
just
know,
hilarious.
Put him on the spot.
Darth
great
Icky.
ideas are like, I mean, you're more likely to make the Baseball Hall of Fame. You
Yeah.
fail 7 out of 10 times, and you're in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 1
It
out of 10.
doesn't mean every single
Jabba the Hutt doesn't jump off the page to me.
No.
Boba doesn't really.
Yeah.
Darth
Feels
Icky.
right now.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels,
Feels
right after
good
knowing
now.
the characters
It's a little
and
closer than Icky, though.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Icky.
You want to?
well, he's bad, so Darth
So-
So
Vader's
I thought he was gonna say
Insanius?
Darth Bad Guy.
Darth bad guy.
You want to hear my Star Wars name philosophy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
let's
do
hear
this
it.
at home,
Serious?
by the way. It's a little Star Wars guys home game.
You
We're-
love that.
Coming to a home
Star
game.
Wars
Yeah.
guys home game.
Star Wars guys home game. Mini Star Wars guys. So what you do is you just take your first name and you change either the first or the last letter, and you go through the alphabet till it sounds Star Wars. So for me, Uncle's my name. I can't give away my name. So
Yeah,
Nathan,
Uncle.
we
Yeah.
could say Jathan, Star Wars,
Ah.
or change the last letter, Nathar, Star Wars.
Oh, that's
Oh.
great.
The trick is to not make something completely new. It's got to be a variation. So if you just change either the
Okay,
last
this is a
letter
genius.
Wait,
or
idea.
the first letter, you're going to get
What do
a
we
Star
got for
Wars name.
Michael?
Maybe this is what we do the whole cast. We just keep coming up
Zykel?
with names.
Zykel.
Or the last one, Mykar, Myken,
Miken.
George,
Myken.
George,
Mykus.
George Myken. That's
George
it.
Myken.
Or heard of that
I'm
name?
doing the
George
Myken
Myken.
drills. Yep,
Or you can
exactly.
add a syllable, Michaelar,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a second.
and you have to do the hand thing.
You have to do the
Michael
hand
or-
thing. You got
Or
Now
you
you're
can take a
doing
letter
the-
off
yeah,
for
you're
like
You're
Joe.
doing the Trump
you
playing
can
the
just say,
accordion thing.
"Oh,
What is it?
you're doing the accordion.
Oh.
You're playing DeSantis
I think it was
Michael
Dana-
R.
I think it was
This
Dana
way.
Carvey
Michael
recently
R.
who said,
this way."
Trump just plays the accordion, and it's in and out. In and out. It's-
Trump does the wall. DeSantis does the accordion.
Yes.
So yeah, you can make it.
There you
Put
go.
your put your name in the chat there, Chaz. See
Ooh,
how I did that?
Oh
I
yeah,
like
there you go.
that.
Char. Oh,
Ooh.
Char.
What we got for Joe? Does
Joe
have
just
one?
has a lot of great Star Wars names that
That's true.
sound.
How about Jome?
Ooh, Joan. No.
Jome.
No, stay now.
Jome Raz.
Jome.
I love
The
it.
secret
This
is to
going
not think.
Yeah.
Joe Light Sith Icky.
Light Sith Icky.
great. Light Sith Icky.
George, if you're listening,
He's
throw
a Sith,
Light
give us
but
some.
he's on the light
But he's
side
on
of
the
the
light
Sith.
icky.
He's on the light
Sith.
side of the dark side.
Dark
He's light
icky.
Sith
There's
Icky.
balance. There's the light Sith, and then the Sith.
There's like what's our Dungeons and Dragons? Like, is it like what's the something neutral? Like it's your allegiance, but there's like you have a little bit more kind of restraints. So that
Yeah,
would be
you could be lawful or chromatic.
lawful or chromatic. So
Or
now you've got
sorry,
this,
chaotic. You're not
chaotic.
colorful.
You're chromatic. You're chromatic.
You could be chromatic good. I just love color.
What are you? Monochromatic good.
Oh my
I only see
goodness.
black and white, good or bad.
Speaking
Only
of black
speak in
and white,
absolutes.
Wizard of Oz. We'll talk
True.
about later.
Man.
Oh, we will
True.
talk
Can
about
I
later.
clear something up real quick? I don't hate the Wizard of Oz. It's just a bad movie. That's all.
Every time he softens the blow, he comes back harder.
There's a lot of bad movies that I love. It's not a good movie.
Hey,
Not good.
I went to Wicked recently.
Time has not been a friend to the Wizard
To
of
the
Oz.
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
That is
I don't know.
that's
I like it.
So welcome back to the Star Wars Guys podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll officially start.
You said you had.
now that we got our chit chat
Chit-chat
out of the
there
way.
you go.
That's how the pros do it. They make it
That's
look
how the
effortless.
pros do it.
That's how the pros do it.
Have you noticed on these talk shows though the chit chat does not? It just feels so fake.
Oh, it's so fake.
Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't even look right.
Oh, you can tell
Like
because
okay.
you know a lot
Now
of
tell me,
these.
is this true? Did this actually? And then
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
just
yeah.
right
So,
into
so
it.
that's no. We're riding on the train, right? No, this is oh please.
Yeah.
drink your
It's- I
coffee.
also
No,
love,
he didn't know I was gonna. He didn't know I was
He
gonna
did
ask him.
not know.
I love when the
Total surprise.
when the like the late night host is clearly setting up because maybe a lot of people don't know this at home, but we know
Right.
that these people come in even like not actors. They come in. A lot of them have comedians who actually write bits for them for their show
Yeah.
to make sure they have a good appearance. So a lot of them work
Yeah.
co-write with
Yeah.
people from SNL, from different people
Now,
that
you know,
help
recently
them.
they had children's birthday party. Is that right?
Is that
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that right? Well, is that
Well,
wacky?
what
Or is
wacky,
that
wild
wild?
stuff.
Well, that's weird stuff. And that's Johnny Carson for everyone who's 100 who watches us. Um,
Everyone over the age of 70 who watches our podcast.
100
A
watching
very
us.
small
that is,
subset.
I just didn't want,
The
Ed
Venn, what's the Venn diagram? For
I didn't
those who
want-
know
I
Johnny
didn't-
Carson. And
I didn't
watch
want.
our podcast.
I didn't want Edna Mae from Wisconsin who watches us every single week. No,
What's
I
our
don't.
God.
demographic
My
of
mom.
listeners?
Had a friend named Edna Mae.
It's a great name.
The crossover of Star Wars
Yeah.
Carson fans.
Star Wars Carson fans.
Let's
Not
next
Carson
next,
Teva. Johnny,
No, no, no.
Johnny
podcast.
Carson Teva.
We're gonna have a new segment. It's called the Venn diagram segment. We're gonna try to think of a Venn diagram that is 0 people in it.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
and it has to be 3 segments, and there has to be 0 people. Joe, you can get in it
I
too.
love
We're
it.
trying to think of a
I
Venn
think we
diagram.
may have found it.
It has to be real stuff. Like you can't say been on the moon and starred in a Star Wars movie. It has to be like a real subset.
Can't be an
0
impossible.
people in it.
Yeah.
It's easy. You could do it.
oh
You
yeah.
could do it.
You could do it at home. In the chat right now, post your Venn diagrams. And so the
You said
main-
you had- you said
the
you had a
main idea
few.
for this podcast. Yeah, well, when we're talking about
You had some
what are
ideas.
things, actually, the idea behind the podcast topic tonight of what we would like to see came from a number of different things. I was thinking of what are things that are around the bend Star Wars wise right now. We've got Ahsoka coming out. We've got in the near future we'll have
Andor season
more
2.
Mandalorian storytelling, whether
Acolyte,
with
Skeleton
movie and
Crew.
stuff.
Mhm.
Acolyte, Skeleton Crew. Possibly, I know Tales of the Jedi was renewed for another season.
Yep.
We obviously just recently had Visions.
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. We have another Bad Batch. So I was thinking, well, you have a lot coming, which is great. We also have those 3 movies that were announced. We don't have specific dates on those, but I was thinking, a lot of people you always get people that hear one of those and go, "Oh, I wish it was this," and like immediately,
Right.
people, especially nowadays, we have so much more storytelling than ever, and yet if somehow someone's like, "Oh, you're never doing the stuff I want." Okay, so what I was thinking is, what do us who are here who don't
What do we want?
necessarily say
Tell me what
this
you want.
is what should happen, because we don't
Right.
ever like doing that, or this is a big mistake, you shouldn't do this project. There's some that we're really excited about. There's some that I'm like, I'll be the first to admit, when Andor like 5 years ago was announced, I didn't think I'm not interested, but I thought that's an interesting choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like to take a smaller kind of side character that
Mhm.
wasn't explored a ton during Rogue One and go, we have The Mandalorian and we have Andor, these 2 shows coming out.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is just seems like, wow, we're not doing like a
Yeah.
Luke thing or a Vader thing or a Rey thing or a like, and it obviously was a home run and hit. So
Yep.
the idea for this started with that of what are some things that we think in either eras we're already familiar with. I know Uncle kind of had the idea before Tales of the Jedi ever took Uncle's idea, which I believe they stole from Uncle.
Stole it.
They
Do you
definitely
remember
did.
what your pitch was? Like like missing pieces or like
Yeah, I
filling
called
in
it
the gaps?
Star Wars moments.
Star Wars
It's
moments.
Wars
supposed
moments.
to take things that were important and give us the thing that happened
Filling the
before
gaps.
Give us the
It was like
context.
filling the
or
gaps.
after
Yeah.
the one. We talked about this at home today. What my son Micah said. What happened when we know Palpatine survived? What happened when he fell down the shaft?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, show us
Would
that.
love to see.
Show us that moment, which we may get to see when
Like
Ahsoka
it'd be like shorts.
finds out that Vader,
Yeah.
that Anakin turned back to the light. Those we're
Yeah.
gonna see those things. So
So that was kind of the idea
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that.
Tales
'Cause
of
we've
Jedi
had
is
that.
doing that.
Tales of Jedi
Tales
is
of
doing
Jedi is doing that.
So
Stole your idea.
yeah, still the idea. So I mean,
I like
I'll kick it off because we had a little
Kick it off.
Uh,
All right.
right at the very beginning. You kind of had a good idea of.
Yeah.
I would love to see. I know we try not to always be in the same era of storytelling, but we've never seen. There are some novels that have gotten into it a little bit, but we've never seen in animation or elsewhere. Obi-Wan pre Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
A
just
young
see a little
Obi-Wan.
bit. I'm not saying it's the number one thing on my list. Where if I was head of Lucasfilm, this is the first thing. But also, I'd love to see.
And
see
we
some
learned
more.
a little bit more about him too. He had a brother.
Yeah, I had a brother. Well, there's also had a brother, and we have seen some younger Qui-Gon stuff in some novels, but also in Tales of the Jedi. We got
We
Qui-Gon
got a little
Dooku.
bit, yeah.
Mhm.
But I'd love to see the first.
I'll bet you.
I know
that's
I
in
read a
there.
book recently where there's
That might be Tales of the
there's some
Jedi.
of that
because
but
he was
I'd love
trained
to
by
see it
Yoda
on-
at some
yeah.
point.
What if
So-
the new Tales of the Jedi has?
Jedi
What if
something
Obi-Wan's one of
good.
the focuses on Tales of the
Yeah,
Jedi?
I would love to see Yoda
And it's-
Obi-Wan
and it's-
training.
You know how they kind of
Wow.
show different time periods?
Yeah.
In Tales of the Jedi, they kind of skip a little bit.
Mhm.
What if they show like younger, but then they also show time stuff going on when he's watching Luke, and then after maybe when he's
Oh yeah.
Dagobah with Yoda or
That'd
something?
be cool.
That'd be
That'd
kind
be
of cool.
Did you see Deborah Chow pretty much shut down? There being
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
continuation,
Which makes sense. I would
Yeah,
never
that's what I
expected.
thought.
I never expected a Kenobi 2 because they
No.
wrapped up the story. They told the
Yeah.
story they wanted
Yeah.
to tell.
We had Obi-Wan. We can't have Obi-2.
That's true.
It's just too.
That's just too many Obi-Wans.
You just can't
Be
do
the
it.
great. How about Obi too?
Darth Icky.
By the way, it's a great dog name. Yeah, dog Kenobi. I think is a great name.
It
for
is a
dog.
great
Kenobi
name.
is really good.
It was real good.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just where it started off. I've got
Obi-Wan.
more.
I like
but
it.
we can go around in circles. We can chime
mean-
in. We can do.
I think we've
Throw out.
we've talked a lot about this on the podcast in the past, but for me, I would say I there's always been a big focus on some canonized, either animated show or live action Old Republic era. I've just always liked it just
Yeah.
from playing Knights of the Old Republic, kind of growing up with those games
Yeah.
and stuff. It's always been very fascinating, and not that it needs to be those stories,
Mhm.
but kind of that time period is a cool time period, and they officially recognize it, the Old Republic, as a canon part of the timeline. They
Mhm.
announced it with like their stuff, so they've got ideas for it. We know we have that movie that's coming out. That's supposed to be 25,000 years before.
Yeah.
That's
Phantom
supposed to be
Menace, so-
pre. That's before.
Yeah,
Old
before
Republic.
Old Republic. So
I think they're
I
rebooting the
like
game.
that.
Did you hear about this?
What's that?
I think they're
The game,
rebooting
right?
the game.
Oh, the remake.
They're gonna remake the
Yeah.
whole game.
They're supposed
I
to.
knew.
Yeah,
Kind of cool.
yeah, it would be cool.
The older
Darth Revan.
Republic.
But yeah, I would love that.
Just
but
as
I was
old.
gonna say, I would love to get some show, whether it's animated or live action, of some High Republic stuff now too.
Yeah.
Now that a lot of that's coming together with the novels,
Mm-hmm.
but also the tie-in with Jedi Survivor. For those that have played Jedi Survivor, there's a lot of High Republic stuff involved in
Yeah.
Jedi Survivor, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really cool playing the game and watching the storyline kind of play out. And you're like, oh, we're actually seeing like High Republic on screen. Like it's animated,
Yeah.
basically, is what you're watching. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is
Yeah.
like we're actually
That's
seeing
cool.
like we're reading about these characters
and
in
then
the
here it
books.
is.
And then we're seeing some images that they post of what these characters look like. But now you're
Mhm.
like watching it play out. You're like, all these
That's
High Republic
cool.
era is cool.
That's
Like, and you want to. So yeah, it was,
I like
awesome.
that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
so I'd love
Yeah.
to. I'd love to get some more of that. You know, obviously we've got a ton of stories from with the books and
Yeah.
stuff that they're doing right now
Right.
with High Republic, but doing some of that and on screen would be cool.
I would like. There's a couple different things. We talked about one of these ideas of a completely new. It's set in Star Wars, but it's a different time, different
I
place.
almost went this route. 'cause
All
I
new
liked
planets,
it when you brought
all
this
Yeah.
new
up.
creatures, all new aliens. Because part of what made Episode 4 so cool is that everything was new.
Without a ton of explanation.
No, you just
You
jump right
dropped
in.
into it.
Droids, space, the ships, the
You just
stormtroopers,
roll with it.
Vader, all of it's new. It'd be kind of cool to see that happen. It wouldn't be the same because we are familiar with droids now, and
This would be like Bizarro Superman. This would be
Yeah.
Bizarro world. Like
happens
ship
in a totally
is
different.
now something else. It looks like
Yeah.
it's slightly off.
It's not quite.
That's not quite
So
it.
that would be one. I think would be kind of cool, and it would be free. Like you're not locked in.
we wouldn't have to pay for it at all.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Totally free. Just giving it away.
This is-
I mean, that's what
Disney
you're
will
doing now.
love this idea.
Yeah, Kathy, put that at the top of your
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Free content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to see what happened with when Leia was trained. I
Ah,
want to
yeah,
see her. I
yeah.
want to see her go out and do some stuff with with her
Yeah.
lightsaber, like go out
That
and kick some butt.
that was always so intriguing. Just a little glimpse we got of it, of the
Yeah.
flashback in Rise of Skywalker.
Mhm.
Of
And
young
I'm glad
Leia.
they did because it was cool.
Yeah,
It's great. Billy
It
Lord
was-
played
we all,
played her
we all
too.
assumed that we got some of that
Yeah.
at some point.
so
but
cool.
getting to kind of touch on that and
I'd
see
like
that,
to see
That
that.
was awesome.
that would be very neat.
That could be a Tales of the Jedi too.
That could be.
That would be a great one.
That could be. Get Shelby Young to come do the voice.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
just
awesome.
want to finally, catch up with the Master Codebreaker. Maybe he's finally gotten a slow streak
Yeah,
in,
we
in
never-
craps.
We
Maybe
never got back to the Master Codebreaker.
he's sitting there with his red palm bloom, still sitting there, going, "Someone's gonna see it finally." And like the
know
entire
someone's
republic's
looking for it.
destroyed, and there's they got all the animals escaping off the planet, and he's just like, "Not now, lovey. I'm on a roll."
I'm on
And
a
he keeps
roll.
going.
Pun
which is just-
intended.
I love it. He just keeps playing. I love that we never really got the. That was such a good fake out too.
Yeah, it's great.
That was we've talked about before. That's the movie of each of their different things fails.
Fails,
yeah.
Even finding the right person, like, oh, I
Even
don't know.
the twists.
yeah.
I can do
And
it.
then all of a sudden, I can do it.
I can do it.
I can start
Like
something.
Yeah.
Shoot sword.
Yeah, I, was,
I
I,
see
almost, I, almost,
Vincent-
I almost went a little Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Good evening, Clary.
I see
The
Vincent's in the
fine
chat.
Chianti.
Vincent, what's going on, man? What's going on?
What
He
is
says,
up?
"What's up, Star Wars guys? What do you guys want to see in Ahsoka?" Ooh.
See, I love it. We can take this. What do you want to see? And
What do you guys want to see in Ahsoka?
I know what I want to see most. I want to see I want to see Ahsoka's face when she learns
Mm.
that Vader came back to the light. That
That- so
Anakin
do you wanna
Anakin came back.
Do you want it to be Luke who tells her that?
Wow, that'd be cool.
Because we've seen that obviously in
What about a Force
Mandalorian-
Ghost visit from Anakin to Ahsoka?
Oh man,
Hayden Christensen is in.
I know.
Is
I
confirmed.
know. That's
now,
what I would.
Does
yeah.
that mean he is confirmed as Darth Vader, in
Vader?
an actual scene with Darth Vader, like
Mhm.
Could
World
be
Between
flashback
Worlds,
stuff.
flashback, or is he a Force ghost?
Yeah. I don't
Well,
know.
if it's a Force Ghost in general, she immediately go, "What? Force Ghost? Sith don't get Force Ghosts. Say what?
Hey, you're good.
Say what? You're good." He's like, "Hug me." Oh wait, you can't do that anymore. But also now I'm old, Anakin. I just love going old Anakin. Also, I'm old Hayden Christensen. I just love old Hayden Christensen.
No, I would like
that
voice.
moment. I want. I want
moment,
that.
yeah.
I want that moment.
I like that.
I like that too.
What
I
about
like
you
it.
guys?
For Ahsoka, I think, I'm really excited. One of the biggest things I'm excited to see, it's not even specific. I kind of feel similar to how Book of Boba Fett, like we went in and was like, it turns out
What
we
does it
all
mean?
were overlooking it. There's like, it's
Yeah.
just, it's the Mandalorian story, and this is like the Book of Boba Fett in the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
That's how it's
the
explained. But we're like, it's going to jump around. Ahsoka actually, I think, is going to jump around.
Yes.
Because World Between Worlds
Yeah,
is going to be like,
seeing that live action too, that could be pretty sweet.
wow. I'm excited to see, obviously, we're getting Thrawn. They've shown.
Yeah,
True.
that's on my
That's
list.
That's
true.
gonna
Give
be
us
really cool.
Thrawn, dude.
And with that, let me see what Ezra's up to.
I know. I think I'm the most curious about Ezra.
Ezra.
Like, yeah, what's going on there?
Messing with the holocrons. Still
He's still
Go
just
out there
going.
like,
He's
"I found
still
another one."
he's looking for
He's
Maul.
got his.
No.
he's got the holocron, and he's like ask again later. He thinks it's a magic 8 ball.
It's a magic
Where are my
Ezra.
parents?
not a magic
Ezra,
8-ball.
the ghost of Cain. Ezra,
I
put it down. I
I
died
want
for this
Ezra to
exact
open the
moment. It never
holocron and
happened.
it's Kanan just going, Ezra,
Maybe he
for
blames
the
him.
millionth time.
I died because of you, Ezra. It just makes him guilty.
He's turning him to the dark side.
Kanan
That's
forced
awful.
Ghost of Estus to be so ruthless. You did. You
Oh,
made a
that's
right,
sacrifice.
Ezra.
You forced my hand.
He's
no,
right,
it's,
Ezra.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
All of it. All of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see the Thrawn, Ezra.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm
Give us
just
some
I'm
Purgo.
excited to get live action Rebels. Get the gang back.
Live action.
Boys
Ghost.
are back in town.
Yeah.
Gang back. Yeah.
That's gonna be the song I've heard.
Oh yeah.
They're actually taking a Guardians path.
Yeah.
Gonna have all 70s soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's,
It's gonna be great.
Rubber band.
I
Man.
love
it's
it.
gonna be the whole thing. Ooga shaka. Ooga.
Ezra's
ooga,
gonna
ooga.
Ezra's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
the,
gonna be Zeb.
Zeb's gonna be
Deep
the Star Lord.
inside of me.
Zeb's gonna be the Star Lord with the
It is.
headset and cassette
Ezra
tape.
mix. Spinning the tape.
Oh man.
The
The newest
Ahsoka
Guardian.
mix.
This is a little side, but the newest Guardians
Chopper's
soundtrack
Groot.
continues for the newest
Oh
movie.
man.
I
They
haven't
did it
even
again,
seen it.
Uncle.
I
You have
haven't
to see
seen
it. Boy,
It's
is that
good.
an emotional movie. It's great.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
I just getting the also the trailer too. We got some dark Sith or whatever. I don't know if they're Sith, dark Jedi, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
In the trailer, so curious to see what
watching
that's about.
Ahsoka
What's
go
the
to
story
work,
going?
man.
yeah.
Where's the story going? We see Inquisitors are in the trailer as well.
Yeah.
So
I thought Ahsoka, especially
Yeah.
in particular, the episode "The Jedi" in Mandalorian
Mando.
was done so well. And that was
yeah.
obviously Filoni having complete control over the Ahsoka character. I don't feel like he would even do this story. He's been sitting on Ahsoka. What's Ahsoka do next for years?
Yeah.
Ever since the end of Rebels, he's been
Yeah.
end of Rebels, and then obviously Clone Wars. But Rebels is the oldest Ahsoka we had gotten at that time, and the fact that he's finally now doing it, now bringing back
Yeah.
these characters like the other characters that were on the Ghost, obviously with Ahsoka, makes me so confident that he's only coming back. Like he's only finally doing this now because he feels really good about the story that
Yeah.
they've
It's got
got.
something to tell.
Yeah,
And,
I also
so
I've been
I'm
seeing
excited for that.
reports. I saw reports going around too that were saying that a big reason why Filoni is getting that like Mandoverse movie is because of what they saw him do with this Ahsoka
Oh,
show.
wow.
Oh
They
yeah,
were-
why he's the one.
They were so
directing it?
impressed with what he was able to do with the Ahsoka
Man.
show that they're like he's the one to make the Mandoverse movie. Who knows what that's gonna be called? But
Yeah.
or no, isn't it Heir to the Empire? Maybe.
No,
I don't
that's
know if
that-
it's confirmed.
That's
but
actually I think been since as we
Debunked?
predict on here
debunked.
debunked.
The title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
Uh,
usually get a title before you even get a
Yeah.
release date or.
But it could
it's in
be that
production, maybe.
idea.
Something.
They've
Yeah.
mentioned Heir of the Empire, the exact quote, the exact words Heir of the Empire in the show,
Yeah, and
which is
Ahsoka.
exciting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vincent says, "What do you guys think about the orange sabers? Yeah, they are kind of orangish. The very
Yeah.
light red orange
Retro.
look.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. That
cool.
video, I posted that video too, talking about Filoni was talking about those sabers. Said he wanted to try to make it.
Didn't he say they just clicked the wrong button?
They
in the
did?
edit?
It was the wrong filter on
That's
accident. They said,
darn
"I'll
it.
leave it." No, they actually were.
Dang it! I couldn't remember red or orange.
They did kind of that. Some of that in Visions where that it emanates from a white center. All
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
All
Yeah,
of them. And the
yeah.
hue is based on.
And he was saying he always saw when the original Vader, it was a little more orangish, not as pure red like
Yeah.
we see now with a lot of the Sith sabers. Had a little
Well, the tech-
brighter tint to it.
the
and so
tech
he
caught
thought,
up,
oh,
yeah.
that kind of, it did.
They could do any color now.
and so now
they
he thought,
couldn't.
oh, I'm going to kind of go back and reference that.
Love that.
They look a little different. They're a
Yeah.
little more orange, I think. But he was like, I'm going to kind of reference that. And
Yeah.
that was a big inspiration for why he chose to make those colors. the
Which
way
is
they
kind
were.
of
Awesome.
funny. I don't
It's
know if it's
awesome.
intentional or not. The lightsaber color, even the classic blue, has been different in like every single one of the
Yeah.
projects. Like the Obi-Wan series blue, whether intentional or not, was a lot like more solidly blue and kind
Yeah.
of even shown differently, much different.
Almost white, the original. Is
Yeah, almost
white.
way different than the.
White
And,
with the
and again, that was a
blue
change
tint.
George made because the original was white, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they go to the prequels and it's solid. It's like a light blue, but
Yeah.
it's clearly blue.
All the way.
And then they went like really blue
Yeah.
in the Kenobi series. And
Yeah.
then now they're going a little more. Actually, like on your shirt, it's pretty Like that's looking kind of orangish red when that's coming up there.
From that
Yeah,
lighter center with just the hue on the
I like
outside.
it. I like it. I have a
Yeah.
broader.
Yeah.
What would you like to see? This is kind of a question. We've had different genres, somewhat, with our different shows. You know, Book of Boba Fett had kind of a lighter. There's moments that were dark for sure, but you
Yeah.
also had apologies.
Oh,
And you had like some well-known Stephen Root's in it. Like you have these character actors who have come in and are doing, who are doing, like there's recognizable people that are playing characters. And sometimes it takes you out. Jack Black and Lizzo, like you have some stuff that's like, oh, this
Yeah.
is obviously supposed to be very comedic.
Yeah.
And then you have Andor, which is like, who smiled? No one smiled. Like there would be an Imperial
Yeah.
officer being like, are you smiling? There's nothing funny because
Right.
it's a darker tone. I'm wondering, this is not specific about Ahsoka, but talking about shows or films we would like to see. Is there a specific genre that you feel like they haven't done yet that they possibly could? Like, meaning,
I don't think they'd ever do it, but I have one in mind. I would like to see a Sith-based movie.
yeah,
It's like a suspense gothic horror, like
yeah,
Yeah.
not like a slasher,
I know what you mean,
but
though, for sure.
But the dark, actually dark and scary, like
Yeah.
a monster movie.
yeah,
Almost
yeah.
It's a
almost
Sith, because that's what they are.
almost
Yeah.
in almost
Terrifying.
like in a way that's like enlightening the viewer to be like not glamorizing the Sith.
No, this feels
Like
it's scary when you're in it.
like
yeah,
it's scary when you're in it
Wretched.
because it's showing like when you follow the dark side, this is what you become.
That's right.
You don't want to become this, and it's highlighting how
That's right.
that would be actually be.
the torture of it. That's
so I feel like
that
right
the
now,
individual is tortured by it,
exactly.
and they act out because of it. Not
So right now, so many people
Yeah.
love the Sith, like Darth Vader, Kylo Ren. I love those characters. But
whoa,
but
easy,
there's
easy.
but they're
What in
also
the
like
world.
Wow, did he say he idolizes them? I didn't hear what he
Said,
said.
I want
Yeah,
to be just like them in
become
real
them.
life.
He
I
said
think
he
that's what
agrees with their
said.
policies.
he said he
I would vote
agrees
for
with
him
them
for
politically.
president. What did you say?
Vote for him
Gonna
for
serve this Vader
president.
for
Oh my
Vader
gosh.
2020.
Vader Kylo.
It's
That's
his-
my ticket.
It's Uncle Sam, and he's pointing. I want you.
I
and
want
it's just
you to
Vader on
die.
the dark side. I
Skywalker.
want you to die.
I want you to. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
man.
but it does
Yeah.
kind of because
Yeah,
Star Wars is
we
yeah.
like them because they keep them kind of.
they keep them. Yeah, they show that they're bad, but they also intentionally make them cool and yeah. But if
that
you
would be
actually,
interesting, and it would lend
Like
itself.
you're
if they
saying.
just played it straight up as a Sith, it would be.
and
awful.
that what you're saying, it does
Acolyte
make me
maybe.
interested.
Acolyte, I think, is supposed
yeah.
to be.
It's gonna be dark, but
Yeah.
the philosophy of
feels like
Star
they wouldn't
Wars
do
is
it.
hope, so
Yeah.
it, you
so
can't
it
go
can't.
too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also wanted the philosophy of Disney of how dark.
How
I
dark
mean, I
will
know that
Disney
there
go?
was a lot of questions early on about whether or not they would change, or whether or not Disney would kind of force them to change the ending of Rogue One. Was a big discussion
Oh
of
yeah.
would they make it be a happy ending, or would they actually?
They had a
kill
song.
him?
Vader was
Yeah.
gonna do like a Little Mermaid type song.
He was
and
gonna.
then Bob Iger's like,
break out into
"Are you
musical.
serious? If you do, I'm quitting." And they
I don't
quit,
know
and
why,
they
but
didn't.
now
They didn't do
when you
it.
say a Vader Little Mermaid song, I am thinking of Vader.
this stuff.
Vader up on the rocks going like this. When the waves crash behind him, Vader going, and it's just the moment when Ariel hits land.
How bad were?
But it's just lava.
It's all
It's him on
Mustafar.
Mustafar. He's crawling up the.
Oh my gosh.
Voice
He's
away.
crawling up the side on Mustafar. Oh man.
It's go on and join the Sith. Wow wow. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. I don't know.
Go
No,
on.
I love where this is going.
Dare you see
Um,
him? Don't you want to force choke him?
This is now. It's now Palpatine whispering in the Sith's ear.
Light up your saber now. You know you want to kill him.
Do it.
Go on and kill the girl.
Oh my goodness. This is the best thing we've ever
Force,
done.
YouTube
This
just
is
force
great.
immediately
choking
shuts
the
us down.
fishes as they go.
For no reason.
Star
Just show 'em.
ruined Star Wars.
This
No,
is
they
great.
didn't. They
They
made it
didn't.
great. Make Disney Star Wars great again. That was Disney's
They
slogan.
say Disney
Disney's
say if
slogan is
Little
make Star Wars great
if
again.
Little Mermaid does not make enough money, we will force it to make money by combining it with Star Wars. Star Wars makes money. That is the way we're gonna do it. We'll
That's the
combine
key.
it.
It's got to be all Star Wars. So put a song in there.
I saw a thing today that there's an
That would be the genre of what you're talking about. Star Wars
yeah,
musical.
Star Wars musical.
Star Wars musical. Oh,
Yeah,
Dancing
Star Wars
Vader.
Yeah.
musical.
The dancing Sith. Diving in the water.
ladies and gentlemen, Luke in the Womp Rats. I did see an announcement today.
Womp Rat.
For some reason, I'm just imagining they're doing that. Oh, I did see an announcement today that there's an Australian remake of The Office that's. I don't know why it made.
It's been
There's
everywhere.
been a bunch of places, but there was a big announcement today, like that they were
Really?
casting, I guess, some like well-known comedians and stuff to be a part of this. An Australian remake
that
of
be
The
that much
Office. But I'm
different?
like, I thought they've already done this, like Korea and everywhere. Like we've seen it for years.
Yeah.
But let's get a Star Wars version of The Office.
Star Wars.
But
Joe, can we do
everyone
that?
is-
Just the opening Office.
It is. Everyone is.
Can we just do the opening
Yeah.
Office thing, but it's all Star Wars?
That's it.
That would be great.
Michael, I'm Kevin Malone, and I want to go to the dark side. And everyone's just like, because then they call me Darth Malone. Darth Malone. But I did see that today, and I thought the same thing. I thought this has been remade like everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know why this was a big headline.
Here's my chili, made straight from Mustafar.
Mustafarian lava. That's how you make it. Oh my goodness. No, I was with you. I was actually when I asked
Michael
the question.
Scott working through the Trade Federation.
Who would play the parts?
Oh my goodness.
Who would be the Jim character in Star Wars?
Who would be the
What
Jim
he do?
character?
I
in
like
Star
where
Wars?
this is going.
I mean,
Yeah,
who,
maybe this is like
would Vader be Michael Scott? Would he just run the office?
Scott.
Would that be Vader?
You've got
Yeah.
you would have to have maybe it'd be a twisted
It'd
like
be Newt
version
Gunray.
of it. You'd have
Oh yeah, yeah,
Newt
yeah.
Gunray. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Run the
Ray,
office.
Ray would be Pam. I'm waiting for the phone to ring.
I'm waiting.
call shortly.
I'm waiting. Ray,
Oh,
Ray, Ray.
Yeah. That who
Jar
would
Jar
Dwight
would-
be?
Jar Jar would be
Dwight.
Kevin.
Who would
Dwight.
Dwight be
Oh man,
Oh,
in Star Wars?
that's a tough one.
That is a hard one.
Apologies. I don't know. Boba
that
Fett.
is hard.
Dwight is
That's
both.
Dwight.
He kills you instead of getting mad. I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But
Different
no,
genre.
You actually were saying when you said horror, that's actually one of the things I was thinking of. was,
Really?
Yeah.
And particularly, I was thinking how we've gotten moments like there's definitely Vader hallway scene. That's pretty
man.
horrific. Like
Yeah.
you get it for a
Yeah.
moment in Rogue One. Vader in the Obi-Wan, I believe it's episode 3, when he like just is dragging the women across the street and like
Yeah,
force
that's
chokes a person, drags a woman, she's
Yeah.
screaming,
Oh
she's
yeah.
looking.
Going through the
And
town.
Obi-Wan is, and yeah,
Yep.
this is the first time we see Vader. Like that was,
Yeah.
I remember thinking when they finally revealed Vader, I was like, I've seen Vader my entire life, and they did a good job of I'm waiting to finally get him, and I'm getting chills when the way this is like shot, like a
Man.
western
Yeah.
of like doors are closing, the
yeah.
you know everyone's shutting their shutters so you can't see him, and he's just dragging people across.
Yeah.
But like a movie where you sat in that suspense would be. That would be
Jump
that'd be
scares.
good.
Whole
Jump
thing.
scares.
Would be.
yeah. Palpatine.
It'd be all
It's just
night
a bunch
sister
of Palpatine.
theme.
You're in you think you're in one of those like a mirror, one of those rooms, all the mirrors, and it's just all the Palpatine clones. Like it's not.
Yeah.
We're all real.
Oh, man.
We're all just
Awesome.
This is where he
They're all
stores
just
us.
force
Yeah.
lightning each other.
That's where he stores
Look at that.
us.
Let's do number 3 today and number 7. Come on out.
Oh,
You're the
number
clones-
7. You're looking a
the
little
clones
sleepy.
for the day.
Oh, I was up,
The Palpatine clones for the day.
That's it. Oh, how come he never picks me?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Palpatine.
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 I'm imagining they're a barbershop
Oh
quartet.
my God.
They've got the matching.
I want to sing bass. You did it yesterday.
They've got the hats, like the canes. Oh, my
Just
goodness.
do it. Do it. Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Is this a Beat It remix?
If there's one thing I've thought
Do
about
it.
Palpatine,
Do it.
I would imagine he has a lovely singing voice.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the guy
So
can
be it.
belt. The guy can belt a note.
want to go.
Awful.
Joe, is there anything
Oh my goodness.
particular you want to see?
Just at all, anything.
He wants to see this bit. You want to see this bit end?
Yeah. What do you want to see for the Star Wars guys? Not this.
Not this.
Anything
but
else.
this. He said, I do not include me in the credits of having produced this episode, please. I am
It's
out.
very slow to come up. They're like, no, keep me out of it. Keep me out of it. Do you have anything you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean,
Seeing-
I've always been a big. I want to see more High Republic stuff, not to just pick
yeah.
Yeah.
that every time. But I've been getting back in the books again because I just take reading hiati over the
Hiati.
I don't know. Is that a
Hiati.
word? I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
Over the winter. I don't know why. I just always do. So been getting back into that, and they're really good. You know.
Yeah.
So
They're really good.
I'm definitely. I definitely want to see more. More.
A young Loden Greatstorm.
Young
Oh,
Loden.
yeah.
Give me some Bell Zetafar.
Yeah. Give me the vectors and their little ships and
Yeah.
the Starlight Beacon and
Nihil.
Yes.
Nihil.
all that. I want.
I am the eye.
So great.
Oh,
It's
Martian.
funny. We quote
Martian
we
Rose.
quote the audio because
Yeah.
we're all listening.
The audio.
I know, that's
People
we're
are
all
like,
doing
I
the
didn't
same
remember
voice.
hearing that.
If
in the
they
book.
ever
Like,
cast,
why
if
they
they
do all
ever
do the same
do
voice?
a Martian Rowe, I will always hear
You
it
have
as
to- they
that
have to do
voice.
it. It's
His
so
voice
good.
is so great.
Yeah, that's great.
I
No, I love the High Republic books. That like Joe, I also need to get back on the. I have some High Republic books that I've bought that I haven't read
I
yet.
know.
Yeah.
Same.
But those ones, especially those first few that, like Light of the Jedi, Light of the Jedi was. We talked about it a little bit on the podcast at the time. We never did like a full review. One of my favorites, still to this day,
It's
one of my
great.
favorite and most cinematic Star Wars books I've ever
Oh yeah.
read. Where it
Big
jumps off the
picture. It's
page
great.
of I'm picturing
Like
There are some
what is
books-
going on?
that even there are some books, even some well-known books that are a little bit more. Even some of the Timothy Zahn books are kind of wordy sometimes, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm trying to picture what's going on, and then they'll have moments where I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
now I get it. Now I'm trying to picture what's going on. That was a book that like immediately
Yeah.
felt like from the first scene, boom, okay, explosion in the sky. What's going on? Oh, pieces of
Right. What's
the
going on?
atmosphere,
How's
stuff's
this
going on.
happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has a shocking beginning to that book. You
It
kind
does.
of are
That's great.
attached to some characters.
I
that you shouldn't
literally
be
remember,
attached to
like,
for
yeah.
too long.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Got too
that's
close.
not the main character.
I was
Oh.
trying so hard to remember some of those characters' names, and then like 2 chapters in, I'm like, well,
It's saying,
Doesn't
thank
matter
goodness
now.
I didn't get
Okay.
attached to you.
good thing I
Darn
didn't
it.
remember your name. No.
Captain. Oh man.
Yeah.
That book. Have you guys ever read Seven Eves by Neil Stevens?
Mm-mm.
Seven
No.
Eves. No.
Seven Eves. It was supposed to be turned into a movie by Christopher Nolan, which is
Really?
Christopher Nolan?
yeah.
Wow.
But the book starts. It reminds me of Light of the Jedi. The book starts with the sentence, "The moon exploded for no apparent reason." And you're like, "All right, here we go."
Wow.
Holy
yeah,
moly.
and it's just, and you're off. And
Not a Star Wars story.
no, not a Star
Seven
Wars story. It's in
Eves.
space.
That's no moon.
It's
in
an
space.
interesting
no
book.
moon anymore.
But
There
yeah,
was a
it,
moon and it exploded for no apparent reason.
But yeah, no,
Wow.
that's a good book. Recommend
I'm
it.
gonna
But
write it
very reminiscent
in my
of
notes.
how Light of the Jedi starts, because you're like, oh, this is
Mm.
next.
Ah.
All right,
All right.
Yep. Swipe left. You're going.
Ah. No, that's that's no moon. That's no moon.
7
Seven
Eves.
Wow. That got my attention right there. Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember which one that is. Yeah. I gave the wrong synopsis to that book. Yes. I do, admittedly, I like books that feel like, oh, I actually will watch this movie different now because of that. I'll watch the film.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the reasons I really loved the Tarkin book that is canon adjacent.
Adjacent.
It's has not been it's a thing for me. It's like it is not there's nothing that has disproven this as not being canon, but technically it was before the Disney sale. But it's written by James Luceno, who had done books before and did books after, and so he took some of those things and actually canonized some of them in
Some
the
of it,
Tarkin
yeah.
novel that he wrote for
Canon adjacent.
after. Canon adjacent. It's. But this one's real made
this
up.
one's real made up. That
Wait,
one's
so this
made
didn't
up.
happen?
Made up.
Well, none of it happened. But this would actually happen to the characters that I care about. Oh no.
This one counts. This one doesn't.
It is very hard. Even to me sometimes I'm like I catch stuff all the time, even for things outside of Star
I
Wars
know.
that I'm like, oh,
Is it
why
canon?
why do I get this just shows you the power of storytelling. Why am I sad that this make believe character in this movie didn't survive. And like they're not making another movie. It's not sad that I won't see them again on screen. It's that I want to, in their pretend world, to have survived and like to have gone on and done other things, even though I'll never see it again. Like I'll never see. Oh,
Even though it's not
no.
real.
No, why is that's such a shame that the character that I liked for the last 2 hours, who I'd never met before,
Now they're
2
gone.
hours.
now they're gone,
Now they're gone.
and they didn't even get to.
That's what I feel about some of the ones that are now not canon. They're not. They don't even exist. It's worse than
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
Luke
Hey,
and
listen,
Wow.
you never even
Leia and
existed.
Han's twins.
You're but a
Yeah,
dream.
you're,
Never existed.
no. And
Yeah,
guess
that's
what? Your
true.
mommy and daddy didn't last. I don't know why he rubbed it in like Trump.
Didn't last.
Guess
Which, by the
Because
way,
nobody stings like that.
which, by the way,
Stings
I
worse.
called
Like
it
a dog.
like a dog, they didn't last.
Father was a smuggler. Don't we love a good smuggle?
It's like, smuggle. We love a good smuggle. We love a good smuggle. No one likes a good smuggle. I don't know.
You got the snuggie. You got the smuggy.
Smuggy.
Some say marauder. Some say smuggler. Don't we love a smuggle?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I never made a deal with Ganja Club. When you look at it, and I make some of the best
and
deals.
I make some great deals. You look at the deals I've made, I tell you.
Never made a deal.
With Ganja Club. That I can promise you.
If I had made a deal with Ganja Club, that I can tell you, it would not be.
If I did, it would have been the greatest deal we've ever seen.
Mr. President,
Tremendous
could you
deal.
please explain the deal that you made with Ganja Club?
Never made it. Never made it. Excuse me. Like look at these questions they're asking. They're terrible questions. You're a disgusting person. Asking me these questions.
We go from 0 to 90. You're a disgusting person. You should die.
Excuse me. You're disgusting.
There's a line in there too with Han saying,
It's so great.
"You can't trust those little freaks." That's what it said.
Little freaks.
Is it
Can't
possible that
trust
we
these
could?
little
I'm in the
freaks.
edit mode. What we want to
Tell
see.
that. Ganja
I would
Club.
like to see an edit where it is Trump negotiating with Jabba the Hutt for the release of Han Solo. And why is Luke not negotiating for the? Why is he not negotiating for the release of Leia? She's right there. She can stay. I want him.
Let's take a 2-minute detour
like,
and talk about what was Luke's plan there.
What was everybody's plan?
Right? Everyone. It sounded like none of them were on the same page.
No,
Lando's what? Just living there?
he's just
Lando's like,
Lando's
casually
one of
revealing
them.
his
listen. Lando's like,
Lando was still.
Lando
Lando was just waiting back to see which side he'd end up going with.
right.
Lando's like, listen, I was bad like 5 minutes ago. I was Han, old
Yeah,
buddy.
oh,
I was
well.
gonna say, which there's nothing I could do. I'm sorry.
Why? Lando
listen.
did not.
Yeah, Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
They work on me.
That's a good one. Is Trump Jabba or
Trump's
is Trump
Jabba.
negotiating
Trump
with
is
Jabba?
Jabba.
That would be even better.
Trump's job was sitting
Trump
on
the Hutt.
throne.
These two droids.
Jabba the Trump.
Joy-
Jabba the Trump.
Jabba the Trump. Oh man, that would be a hit with both sides of the aisle. They would love it for both reasons.
That is that
Hilarious.
would be something. Oh, folks, down.
Come on.
Come on.
Down on the hut.
Can we just
Jabba
clip,
the Trump or
can
Donald
we
the
just
Hutt?
clip the last like
Could y'all
2
vote
minutes?
in the chat? Jabba the Trump
Folks.
or Donald the Hutt?
Donald the Hutt. We need to clip the last like 4 minutes and
my
just post
goodness.
that as a video.
Listen, folks, my dad pulls me aside and says, Joey, Donald the Hutt doesn't know what he's talking about. Come on. It's not. Come on. Folks, it's not. You know the deal.
Oh man.
Joe, the folks are that way. He's looking.
So we're gonna recast
This is just
Return
all
of the Jedi
presidents now.
as,
All presidents
as the
are-
presidents.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. The
Boy, you know I love Donald the Hutt.
Young President Adventures. That's what it is.
Donald
And they're all going out to fight as Jedi, but they're the presidents.
Donald the
former
Hutt
presidents.
has one requirement: his women do not wear too much Too much covering. He would just love it. So love the outfit choices. Oh my goodness.
And wigs.
And wigs. It's a great tie-in for the
Vincent said Donald the Hutt. Donald the Hutt. Donald the Hutt.
There you have it. I love it.
Oh my
What were we
goodness.
talking about?
I don't know. Something about Trump.
Some of those Trump.
Welcome
Biden,
to the Trump guys.
Some
We
about
had
Trump.
Biden. We had a little bit
Man.
of Bill Clinton. Don't tell Hillary I was.
We were talking about what we would like to see.
Joe's loving this.
Just laughing in the
loving the
background.
bill.
So great.
Which, by the
Oh
way,
my goodness.
whatever you think of Trump, the Wild Bill is maybe the best nickname he's ever given
Oh my
anybody.
Goodness.
Like he obviously he's had the
So
Lions,
great.
Crooked Hillary,
Sleep-
Wild
Sleepy
Bill.
Joe, Wild Bill.
Don't everyone knows Bill had to love that. Wild Bill. He's
oh my
like, giddy
goodness.
up.
That's
Like it's just
perfect.
giddy up.
up. He
It's
loved
pretty
it.
wild. Give me a
He's
lasso.
the only one that
Like,
liked
it's
his
just-
nickname.
He loved it.
Yeah.
Like that empowered him. He was, I was
Absolutely.
pretty wild. There's
I
no
am.
taming me.
That's me.
He's just like, oh my goodness.
Man.
So yeah, what would we like to see in Star Wars? All of our former presidents. Yeah.
Oh,
Where can they
man.
find?
Where can they find us? Let's just end it.
This is just
No. This has been good. It's
That
fun.
was
Yeah.
great.
I don't know why I'm picturing Bill Clinton as Boba Fett now. I don't know why he takes it off.
Takes his helmet
it
off.
does just something about
Who's the armorer? Bill Clinton.
Wow, your voice is so
And
different.
I have the
Whatever.
talking hammer.
It's
I'll
the helmet.
pass it around.
Talking hammer.
Remember that
episode?
Remember that episode? He's got the talking pillow. He's got the hammer and passes around.
Oh,
I just like to.
Mm, He's got
We
talking
don't have the hammer.
Darn. Next time.
Here it is.
Could you pass?
Here it is. Bong.
It's like the ball, Michael Scott's ball. Here you go. Talking hammer. Oh, I guess he doesn't have anything to say.
Oh my goodness. This is
That
not
was a- that was
exactly
a
the
great
episode
bit.
Do you
I
think-
thought we
That
were
was
going
a
to do.
great bit.
Do you think? You think we should try to have a plan at some point on our podcast in the future? I
I
don't
don't know.
I
We'll
don't
let
know.
chat decide.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, chat. Do you like? Do
think
you
it's
like?
fun.
Do you like?
I watched
Wild
the
Bill?
Smartless podcast on HBO.
Oh,
the other
it's so
day,
good.
Video.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
They're so funny.
Hilarious.
I didn't see the. I was watching the show.
Oh, you're watching
it's
the
their
tour.
The tour.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
could listen to it too, but
The
it's just funny.
they're the way that they just rib each other.
So funny.
I've only seen the first episode of the show, the
Me
tour
too.
show.
Me too.
My favorite bits is
What's that
The-
on?
it's on HBO.
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 Oh,
It's on Max.
it's on Max.
It's
Meanwhile,
on
on Max.
Meanwhile, on HBO.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice. I
Drop
love.
the HBO.
There's a
By the way, a little tidbit
Just
about
Max.
Drop
cleaner.
the HBO.
That's
Just Max.
it's making a
Max.
social network. Justin
Exactly.
Timberlake.
You know what's
Instead of
cooler?
Drop the
Max.
just face Max.
Drop
Drop the
the
HBO. Just
I can't believe
Max.
that's was that who Andrew Garfield? Who was that? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eduardo.
Wow.
Eduardo.
First thing
Yeah.
I'd ever seen him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and then it was like, he's Spider-Man? All right, let's do it.
Cool.
Love it.
Spider-Man. I know, that's all I had.
Drop the HBO.
That's pretty good.
Spider-Man.
Drop the Max. It's just
Yeah, then you get to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, where he just kind of has the upper lip. It doesn't move too much. Yeah, Aunt May, Uncle Ben.
Peter too.
Yeah, it's complicated, but he made it work. It's the Avengers.
Peter
It's
3.
great. What is that? It's my back. It's stiff from all the swinging, I guess.
Swinging, I guess.
And then the old Hayden Christensen gets
He
involved.
just
No,
goes back to old Aiden all the time.
I just do all the
He
old
loves it.
actors. We've got old Toby. Young Toby was just young Toby.
He's just
was,
dancing.
Yeah. How'd that get in there? It's all his little jabs. His and put some dirt in your eye. All his one-liners from the old Sam Raimi ones are just that's funny. Yeah. But what do we want to see in Star Wars? Eventually we'll get there. We had a couple good suggestions.
more
We
Jack
had-
Black.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more
Jack,
Jack
if you're
Black.
listening, drop some ideas,
They're so
arrows. What do you guys
nice.
want to
The
see
chat
in
is so nice.
Star Wars?
They, if we had more, they would just roast us to bits. If we were
Chat
on
wanted
like
to-
anywhere else, they are just nice to
Thank
us.
goodness we don't have listeners.
You guys are stupid.
I think they would have
Chad,
liked
if you're-
on here.
Keep it going.
It's impossible. There's not a chance in the world anyone would have had strong opinions over that political bit.
No, no way.
That was too right, too left. That was too centric. Choose a side, cowards. Choose a side. With us or against us. With us or I don't know. No, I'm choose a side.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Chad, if you're still here, I'm sorry.
Joe's apologizing on our
Joe is
behalf.
turning the camera onto himself so you can see him walk out of the room.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I get that.
Just quit after 3 weeks
Oh
of
my goodness.
being on the
Can't
job.
take it anymore. Always out, baby.
I'm out, baby.
That's it. Oh man.
Oh man, yeah, chat. Let us know what you want to see in Star Wars. If it's a certain character deep dive, a story you want to see told,
I think we talked about this before. Cad Bane, man. I would love to see that.
That's true.
I would
Action,
love to see.
just
like a younger
yeah, go
Cad
back
Bane.
a little bit.
Is he still alive?
I think Cad Bane is in the carbonite state
Mm.
He's in the back to tank.
where they're like, they put Han in carbonite, so
Yeah.
they could go either
Yeah.
way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the little beepy thing. He
Yeah, that's
can
why
come back.
George.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons they had that he created the character of Lando. Was that
He could.
in the when you're writing Empire and talking with
If Han was gone,
Harrison,
Lando's
Harrison
stepping
said,
in.
"I'm not coming back for another."
Whoa,
And he's,
whoa,
and he's like,
whoa.
"Well, we need someone to be the third member of the big three now, so we put him in
There's
carbonite."
also another smooth
and
talker.
then he
yeah.
got him out.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I'm not going to do another one." And he does Force Awakens because the money.
You know what I
Just the
realized
money.
about Harrison Ford? He's not very nice. You know what I mean? He's just.
I just love his
He's not.
delivery.
He just doesn't seem like
Unless you're talking about Indiana Jones,
probably some.
then he
But
loves
what's
Indiana
cool
Jones.
though is that
I don't like where this is going.
that kind of short, like you an idiot, that comes out in Han Solo.
It does.
It comes
does.
out in Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's like, have you guys go to Sunday school? Like, what's wrong with you? I was just watching Raiders.
No, it really does.
It's like, no, it's a staff. It's like, then it's like just
And he
shooting
goes
them
Sunday
down.
school.
Yeah.
Short and kind
And the
of.
best,
But that's in there. That's in Harrison Ford.
the best, that scene.
He might be
He flips
nice. I'm
over-
not
he
saying
flips
that.
over. I know Uncle
He's
loves
got
it.
kind of a short,
I
Yeah.
love
low
the-
tolerance for stupidity. I think that's probably true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't suffer fools.
There you go.
No.
Yeah.
Vincent
He
says
makes
a younger.
fools suffer.
That's what we do. That's our motto.
That's
Vincent said a younger Cad Bane seems interesting. I'd actually want a solo Cad Bane series.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
I've got some.
I would love that.
I want more
to
Crimson
see-
Dawn.
I just straight up bounty hunter.
Yeah, I was gonna
missions,
say
just-
you actually got. I was gonna say I want to
mission.
see.
Kira?
I want to see Kira.
Kira, yeah.
I
Could
want to
be-
see Kira.
I think it's just a matter of time before we get a little bit more of that story. I don't know if it'll be live action or animated, but either way,
Mhm.
give us some Kira, some Maul, some
Maul
Crimson
Post.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know they dove into a lot of it with like the comics and stuff, but
They have a song for that already. I'm
boy.
laughing already because they always
This
say,
is good.
I
Here
know
we
he's
go.
got a joke because of the way it sets it up.
they got a song for that.
I'm gonna date myself.
Good. Is it older than Carson?
Oh yeah. I'll pull it up and I'll play it for.
This is good.
No, you
You
ever
need to
heard?
bust out the Venn diagram. Just
No, haven't you
two
ever heard the
circles
song?
again.
Everybody's heard the song by Helen Reddy. The big crimson dawn. What's that flower you got on? Have you heard that song?
I've heard
That's a
that
good
song.
one.
I didn't know.
It was
Yeah.
Crimson Dawn. It was a pre.
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
have changed it copyright.
yeah.
It was written 35 years before.
But George
Before
knew
Crimson Dawn.
he was.
Yeah. It was originally Delta Dawn, and he's like, I can't do that.
Can't do it. It's Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn because it's red.
yeah.
Wow, that was worth the wait.
We're like, what is Crimson Dawn
Johnny
song by
Carson
Helen Reddy?
ripping our. That's gonna be a new thing. Is Johnny Carson ripping our own bits?
Well, it was a worth a wait.
Well, you spent a lot of time on Kevin Malone, one of the worst characters on The Office. Wow. Don't we all at home have those folks in the office we just don't get along with? That's Carson. Is just
turns
he's
into an ad.
that's it.
You
He's
can insult us.
He insults
Yeah.
and then he brings you in home to feel like
Exactly.
yeah, I also have someone I don't like. Now we're all just spreading hate across the galaxy. I don't know. Carson's a Sith.
Carson's a Sith.
throwing it
Move
out there.
along.
It's
Move
a little
along.
Alan
Star Wars
Alda
guys.
mixed in there. I
Well,
can,
it's yeah, there's
I can
Alan
hear
Alda.
it in there a little bit.
Yeah, Alan Alda. Yeah, that's
Wow.
I love that. That's
Yeah, that was
the Bill
wild,
Hader.
though.
Bill Hader,
Oh,
Alan
my
Alda.
goodness.
He did for a couple of different SNL skits. He had
Yeah.
Alan Alda in is
Auditioning.
Biff, auditioning for
Yeah.
Biff in the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you looking at, butthead? He's like, no,
That
this
is-
is,
that is-
oh, this is great.
that is
No, this
great.
no, you know,
That's
he's
great.
like, I had
Oh, this is
jackets like
great.
these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
this
wore
whole
this.
thing.
That was
Oh,
great
this
writing.
is just great. You know, what you kids are doing with this film, man,
This is
it's
just
it's
great.
great. And then he also did Alan Alda as like the poacher character in Jurassic Park. And he goes,
That was
clever girl. And he's like, oh, it's a shot with forced perspective. You know, that's what we did in MASH. And he does his whole thing. It's just so good.
Great.
Oh, man. This is for, so we got Alan Alda.
I got an idea,
we've
though.
Got, can we
Oh,
go
let's hear it.
older?
I have a great idea for a podcast.
Do you want to hear my Liza Minnelli
And
impression?
It's not.
No.
It's not the Star Wars guys. Okay, we got the Spartless podcast.
Yeah.
We should do. I'm serious. We should do another show, and it's called the Pointless Podcast.
Ooh.
That's all it is. There's no.
I like it.
Smartless is like they got a thing. We got nothing,
Yeah.
and we don't plan anything, and we just show up and
Whatever.
talk to nobody.
Yeah.
Or it's just us.
This is
Nobody-
going down a great
don't even put it
Seinfeld
on. It's not even
like what we
on-
already do.
Yeah.
It's not on anywhere. We just do it here. And we just have the mics,
This
but
is
it doesn't go anywhere.
This is
Not on YouTube. It's nowhere.
This is This is the Seinfeld bit.
So it
This is
has
when-
the
this is when
podcast
George-
has
not
no
even
point,
posted. But
and it's pointless.
This is
what we're doing.
This is the
posted.
This is when George Costanza takes the Seinfeld bit of the show about nothing, but he actually
It's pointless, baby.
like remember
No.
George is talking and he's like, so what happens? He's like, nothing happens. He's like, but like, yeah, but then like, well, something happens. Something happens. No, nothing happens. It's just like, well, that's the show. He's like, well, something happens. He's like, no, that's
Why do
it.
people watch it?
Nothing happens
Because it's
about
on
nothing.
TV.
It's on TV.
Not yet.
It's just-
I think it'll be fun to do
I
the
love
Pointless Podcast, where we
That's
don't.
good.
It's not. There's no
Pointless.
topic.
I
That's
like
good.
Every thumbnail is just a big question.
Yeah, that's
It'll draw them in.
Same
They'll be lining up to click that one.
it. Mystery guest, and then we're on here and we go, no,
It's a mystery to us.
it's a mystery.
Anybody
Will
Oh,
coming
no,
in?
we
Show
don't
up?
have anybody outside.
Anybody calling in?
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Ferrell. I thought that was gonna work.
Oh, darn
No,
it.
he's not here.
Alan Alda.
Alan Alda, Johnny Carson. We just started naming all these people.
Huge apologies
I'm
to
serious.
Matt
The
Damon.
Pointless Podcast coming
I
to
like the Pointless
coming
podcast.
to
It is
That's
good.
wherever you find your podcast. I think that's the funniest
That,
phrase.
what's the,
Coming to
Oh, my
no-
wherever you
favorite
find
parts-
your podcast.
one of my favorite parts about that Smartless on the road was when they're always roasting Sean,
Yeah.
and Sean's talking about like, oh, you edit this out. He's like, we'll have to edit this out, but I ordered surf and turf. And
Is that bad?
Bateman-
Does that make me
is
sound
that-
rich?
is that-
Oh,
is that
Does
bad?
make me sound rich?
And
Thank
Bateman
goodness
goes,
we edited that out.
Oh wow, yeah. Thank goodness we edited that one out. Well, why are we editing? Huh? That was kind of fancy.
A little fancy.
Oh, make sure we edit
Oh,
this out. I
well,
would-
make sure we got that. Did we get that?
Yeah, crew, are we rolling? Did we get that?
Michael, welcome, Michael.
That's what he
Reese's.
said.
Yes.
To quote myself, I think I made a big mistake.
A huge mistake.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh man, Nate.
What else we got?
If the people actually wanted to find us
That's true.
at this point, they
Yeah.
clearly want more of our political.
Do you guys want?
Commentary.
I got
Pointless
one.
Podcast,
I'll reel us back in.
I gotta
Do
see
you
if
guys want a
that's
new animated show? And if so, what would it be?
Ooh, new animated
With
show.
Bad Batch ending next season.
Yeah.
With it being the final season.
I would like some stuff. Well, I would have said I would like some sequel era stuff.
Animated?
Maybe get a little animated Knights of Ren.
That yeah.
That
Oh,
could be
yeah.
handled pretty cool if you kind of go. Clone Wars can go pretty dark. We can go Knights of
True.
Ren.
Give us
and-
anything, Knights of Ren. Honestly.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
like to see some Knights of Ren. I mean, I know it's.
That'd be cool.
I'd also
Before-
love to
wait.
see.
Before Kylo joins them or after?
Okay. One thing, this is attached to this. One thing I want to see, and they're not going to probably do it any time in live action, but I'd love to see it somewhere, is the moment that Snoke seizes control of, and again, we now find out that it's Palpatine through Snoke, using Snoke, but seizes control of the First Order. When does he enter the picture? Because we know, obviously, we know the timeline of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
We know the timeline of post right after Return of the Jedi, Palpatine we think's defeated, and then we have Force Awakens. And in Force Awakens, he is like, it's not just that he is just a dark force user. He's supreme leader.
That's right. He's the running.
Like
the whole,
he is
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
running the whole thing. I mean, you have Hux, supreme leader, like talking to him and
Yeah.
like
Long
getting
live the
advice
Supreme
of what to
Leader.
do. So at what point did he come in and go, I have force powers. Also, this
I'll take
entire
that. I'll
army
take that.
All
infrastructure, it's all mine now. And they're like, but it's, give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him.
How can you resist?
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
So
No, that'd be good. I'd love to get some more
I
nights
force
around.
choked
I'm glad you
myself.
said that.
my
I'm
goodness,
glad you.
I'm tearing up.
These guys.
My
I'd love to see some Knights of Ren.
Stuck like Johnny Carson.
I'd like to see some Knights of Ren before Kylo.
Yeah,
And I don't know how far back they date. Like how far back that.
I'm not sure they ever dated.
Yeah, well, who's to say?
They were just good friends.
Who's to say?
Just
No, I'd like to. I don't know how far back their group dates back, so I
Yeah.
don't know. It would be. It may be
That's true.
answered a little bit in some of the comics. I'm not sure. I know we've had some comics with the Knights of Ren.
Knights of Ren and Luke.
Yeah,
Connection there.
and before Kylo
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, but I'd love to see some of that played out on screen, whether it's animated or live action.
That'd be cool. I'd like to take some of the live action stuff and go backwards. Couldn't we get
I
an
like
an animated version of Luke's Jedi training school? Pre
Sorry,
know.
pre-Ben.
before
Ben's even
before it
around. You
falls
mean?
apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him.
We could.
We saw him do a
the
splendid
start.
job with Grogu. I think big things are ahead
Yeah.
in Luke's future as a trainer. I
Big
couldn't see
things.
that going wrong.
No, big things. Yeah.
Big.
Probably the biggest things
Okay.
we've ever seen.
Quick
Why does it
quick
keep
question.
going back there,
Best
I
best
do love me some
Jedi
Luke as a trainer.
teacher. Best Jedi master as a teacher. Is it easy? Is it Yoda? Is it easy? Okay, take Yoda out.
I would say Yoda, and I would say, well, I'm a big Qui-Gon.
I was
as a
gonna
teacher
say Qui-Gon
fan.
came to mind.
Qui-Gon was
we see
was
in
fond
Qui-Gon
of-
came
he
to
didn't
mind.
mess things
But we
up.
see him doing a really good job with a
Qui-Gon.
young,
Also, who was his-
irritable Obi-Wan at the time.
Think
That's
of
true.
this too.
True.
And him saying,
Think of this. I don't know Qui-Gon's entire
"Feel,
track
don't think,
record,
trust
but
your instincts."
Yoda, Dooku turned bad.
That's right.
Kenobi,
that's what
Anakin turned bad.
that's what I'm getting
Qui-Gon,
at.
Kenobi, true through and
All the
through.
way through.
That's true.
Mhm.
And then what does Qui-Gon get as a
Although-
thank as a thank you?
The Jedi who instructed me.
He says that Yoda trained
That's
him.
right.
Yeah, he gets
throws
no
it,
credit.
He says nothing about it.
Could it be
And Yoda's
argued?
like,
Want you? I do not.
he's like, I don't claim you.
Claim you. I do not.
Could we argue that Anakin is the greatest Jedi master teacher ever? Because we have Ahsoka.
That's
Ahsoka
true.
is
Solid.
He
solid.
taught her even through his flaws,
Yeah.
and she
We
recognized
are
that.
what they grow beyond. They are what we grow beyond. Something
Yeah,
about that.
that's
Hey, it's
true.
open. The
Although-
pointlesspodcast.com is available. Should I get it?
oh, get it. Get it.
$15.
We could just change the name of this show.
The Pointless Podcast.
I like this. The Pointless Podcast.
So
And that
it-
is not Star Wars related.
What
That's
it is
just anything.
anyway. Yeah.
The
In
image
fact-
is just our thumbnail is just a dull pencil. It's pointless.
Pointless.
It's every version of things that have no
Every version.
point.
Yeah. This is now I'm
a
thinking
dull,
now it's like
pencil.
it's like a Mr.
Great.
Rogers. This is a ball, and it's like just showing people like this is round, and I'm very soothing to listen to, and he's showing all this. It's just like a
It's
child's
Bob Ross.
program. This is-
The rule
this
would
is
be
Bob Ross.
Oh,
This
that would
is
be
Then you're
awesome.
gonna add some
Would it be
blues.
possible?
Add a couple of things up here. That's nice.
That's nice.
Happy little cloud.
yeah. That's a.
Is
happy
it
little
possible
cloud.
for us to do another podcast and not talk about Star Wars? Would that even be?
Ooh.
We couldn't put that rule in place. That would be the.
Yeah,
That
it
would be
wouldn't
the
be that
root-
we're
I don't know.
not allowed.
The
I
ruthless
don't know. We do a good
podcast.
job not talking Star Wars on here.
That's true.
Maybe the only problem is we just need to switch the title of these two shows.
That's it.
This is the Pointless Podcast.
That's it.
The
This
other
is
show,
it.
we're going to be so dialed in on not talking about Star Wars that we're going to
Have a
come with our
script.
best material.
It's
That'd
just
be
The
awesome.
script.
We'll follow
Coming with a
that guy.
script.
Bullet
We'll have a
point.
It's
teleprompter.
Last Jedi every week.
That'd be
That's
awesome.
That's true.
The Ryan Johnson
That's great.
podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Parentheses. Ryan Johnson is never here because he doesn't know who we are.
And
Headline: Local Scranton newspaper.
this will be hosted by Toby Maguire.
Vincent said,
pretty
Vincent said, I don't want Bad Batch to end. It's such a good show. Yeah.
Oh man.
I know it's never going to happen, but I want a Star Wars The Force Unleashed 3. Oh, a game. Yeah.
Ooh.
That could.
They could. Yeah, I don't know if Disney will do that or not.
Maybe
but
they could
They
pull stuff.
Sam
in that
Witwer,
didn't-
they got him,
that
so
didn't- yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. It says, but Uncle hasn't been granted the rank of master. He said Uncle, but he meant Anakin, I guess.
Ooh.
I guess Uncle hasn't been granted the rank of master.
I have not.
It's unfair.
It's unfair.
I
It's
love
Obi-Wan. He's holding me back.
because of Obi-Wan.
Because
This
of
is
Obi-Wan.
against me.
Because of what you've done.
That's my
Because
Padme,
of
by the way.
Obi-Wan.
That's
Yeah.
really good Padme. the Ray, the squeaky
Right
Ray.
here, I teared up.
I can't do it.
It's good.
I don't have a Ray. I have a really good Mon Mothma, but
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Many Baltons died
I'm
to bring
waiting.
us this data.
Oh,
Where's my
this is
Mon Mothma is the female mini-me. Many Baltons died. Dr. Evil.
to bring
Bring
you
me this information.
lower
Freaking
globe.
Death Star.
lower the
One
globe? It's just a
Sharks
Death
with
Star.
freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
yes, I have
Oh my
to like
goodness.
What is
finish the
happening?
podcast without mentioning quickly that Matt, our older brother, for those who are not familiar with the podcast, even if you are familiar with the podcast, we don't really talk about him that much. We have an older brother. I don't know where this is going,
And the
but
young
no, we do talk about him.
That's it.
But
Where can they
we
find
actually
us?
mentioned last podcast that he and I had written a bunch of stories growing up. He had brought up today because he's in town. He brought up a couple of stories. He wrote one story for actually school in 3rd grade, and he was recalling a lot of it to me, and that was really funny. But I'll save it so he can actually. He's gonna try to find it and read it on the podcast.
Oh,
if
that's
he can-
awesome.
If he can find it.
Alright.
But he was talking recently about his pitch for a show. Of one, he said I needed to mention this on the show just to give a little tease. He can give more in depth. But he said what he wants to see is a Better Call Saul style show focusing around Lobot.
Oh.
And
Lobot.
he said, imagine.
It's an interesting idea because
said-
he's back there
Yeah.
on all
he
this
said,
stuff.
imagine the show starts, Better Call Saul style, Slippin' Jimmy. We see a little bit of his past. And you see Donald Glover, Lando, that type of and Lando's just kind of playing craps. And who's the head of the casino? A young Lobot who is not lobotomized. He is
Yeah.
the Mr. Smooth. He is Danny Ocean. Like he is
Yeah.
like Mr. Cool. And we don't know what happened. He's
The
now
path.
now they
Yeah.
cut to him and he cut to him and he's just going. And they're like
He's
literally
just
someone lobotomized him.
controlled.
We don't know. We know
Wow.
he's been through this tragedy. We don't know
Yeah.
what happened. Matt also said it's technically kind of the story of Hector Salamanca.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
where
true.
eventually he's gonna
Yeah,
get
it
to
is.
ding ding ding, just
That's
ringing the
right.
bell. But that's the Lobot story. So I had
That
to
would be
tease that
cool.
for anyone who wants
Yeah.
to
Because all this big stuff
backstory.
happens.
Hey, that could be in
behind
Lando.
the-
Apparently, that's still in the works.
happens
Is it?
around him.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't tell me he's
Lando show is apparently still in the works.
Is
or
it?
movie, yeah. Donald Glover was talking about it.
You'd say it's a matter of like
said it's just-
scheduling and
yeah,
stuff. but-
Kathy said too. It's just a matter of Donald Glover's scheduling and stuff like that, and so we could get a Lobot.
I saw a
Could
quote
get a
today.
Highbot.
Did you see Taika had a Hollywood Reporter interview that came out today?
No, he
had
doesn't
a-
do those.
He had a couple of quotes talking about Star Wars and how he's very much still writing the script to the Star Wars thing, and he's very excited because he has a great idea for it. It's just he's struggling with figuring out what the middle is.
That's what he said.
I almost died
Does
laughing.
he
reading
not
that.
realize
He said,
the Star Wars fans and
I-
what they'll do with that quote?
I have to pull up the exact quote because it
I got a
actually
great
made me
start and a great finish.
listen to this. This is
Don't know anything in between.
I have to pull up the exact quote because
That's
it
the
made me
commentary.
laugh.
Look, you can look for that. The
Uh,
commentary for the Return of the Jedi. George is on there. He's like, yeah, I had the whole thing with Luke and you know,
Oh, goodness,
Emperor.
it was-
I had to come up with a bunch of stuff for the beginning. That's how we got Jabba the Hutt. That's what he said.
Yeah, he really.
I
Yeah.
had to
he
come
did
up with
say-
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff for the
I'm
beginning.
gonna pull up.
That's
this
why
is
we're
on
on
Twitter.
Tatooine for the first third of the movie. He literally said, "I had to come up with a bunch of stuff."
Okay, this is
It's
great.
crazy. I
So
love it.
here's
I love
here's
it.
the full quote. He remains very excited about telling his Star Wars story. I've got a really good idea for it. It's just as with all films, it's this middle part. You're like, what's going to happen? And then you look at all those films that are so great. You're like, well, I guess they can't meet some smuggler with an alien sidekick. End of quote. Like, this is great. This is a great idea. Having trouble that it's not just becoming Han and Chewie. Like, I'm not sure what this is talking
Right.
about.
I can't help but wonder if that's just Taika's comedy. Like he knows what he's saying.
It's,
He's just messing with
yeah,
people.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I'd have to see
Is
his
that the middle?
delivery.
I thought that was
Let's
still part of
see.
the first act.
He said that.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Said it's got a really good
Again,
idea
he
for
did
it.
ask Natalie
just that in
Portman
the
if she was
middle.
ever in Star
He
Wars
did.
or ever be interested. So
That's true.
That's great.
But I thought that was. Funny.
he should cast her.
She would be good in a movie.
She's never been
So,
asked to come back.
I mean, if you
That's
ask
true.
her,
Vincent even said
She
something about it
lied.
here.
Taika asked her to come back.
Yeah,
Not
Taika
that long
asked
ago.
That's true.
He thought
She
just
forgot
he
about
thought he was
that.
asking her for the first time
For the first time.
to join the
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back to Star Wars again for the first time.
See it again for the first time.
That's
That's
it.
it. Yeah, that's it right
Just
there.
when he thought it was safe to go back in space. I don't think that was the right. Back in the water.
Oh
This is
man.
like
Anything else, chat? Anything else you guys want to see before we wrap it up? Any Star Wars project,
Please don't say
story,
less
character?
Star Wars guys
whether-
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Please
A
do
certain
not.
game you want made, a certain story you want told, character,
Hey, the Sith
movie.
And the Sith video game, horror game would be fantastic. That would be perfect.
Jedi
cool.
Because they
Fallen
could do
Order.
it. would
You
be
can do it
fun.
in a video game. You can.
Just make a Sith.
Yeah.
That's different than Disney going.
It's all
We're
about
putting
the
all of our
Sith.
money
That's all you-
True.
behind the Sith
Right.
massacring a planet. Like you're like, well, that happens in a lot of the stuff, but showing it even more.
You
like,
are
maybe that's
you
rough,
are
but you do it.
journeying to the dark side. It's Diablo 4.
Oh,
but you're the-
Diablo,
you're the
yeah.
Emperors, You're the Sith.
Turpy said Taika should do something similar to Spaceballs. I can't stand his work with serious stories.
Spaceballs. Oh man,
That would be funny.
Spaceballs.
He does do. He does keep his comedy in a lot of
He
his
does.
stuff.
Although
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit,
Dog
home run.
helmet.
We talked.
that
although
was
Star
funny.
Wars
In
in defense
comedic,
of Taika,
so-
because I love Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I really love Jojo Rabbit, especially for what my expectations
Jojo
were
Rabbit
coming in.
is
Yeah, that was
so-
surprising.
And then we also have to
Interesting.
remember that George came up with Darth Icky.
I think
And we have to. All these things are in balance. Like George came up with the idea for Star Wars in general, the Force, the Jedi, all of that. He
Yeah.
also suggested after coming up with Darth Icky that Darth Insanius would be a good name
Would
as
be
well.
a good backup name.
So we're not all perfect. I'm not even saying that those are bad
Mm-mm.
choices. It's just it's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
It's, as Larry David would say, that's pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Old Republic,
it's,
yeah, Derpy
there's a
says
lot to
Old
be excited
Republic.
about, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also so much that's actually coming out.
Yeah.
That's
already
true. A lot of this
exciting.
stuff that I've been wanting.
We
is
talked about
they're,
this coming.
they're announcing.
Like
it.
I would have said, I want to see the origins of the Jedi. Boom, we
Mhm.
got that coming. Well, I'd like to see something.
Continue the story.
High
Boom.
Republic. Well, that's Acolyte. We got the end of the High Republic
Yeah.
era.
True.
All right. I do want to see some Plagueis.
I would love to see some Plagueis.
That'd be cool.
Eventually. He's just
Would
such a
love to
big
see some
figure.
I want Plagueis with a
Um,
round head.
Plagueis. You can imagine they do a Plagueis, and
Oh,
then the big
man.
story is just, that's not my Plagueis.
It's too flat.
That's not my Cavi.
His head's too round.
Oh my
Yeah.
That's not my
Yeah.
Kathy.
This is I think this
I
has
would
been a
like
fun
some
one.
Plagueis. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I would like to do more impressions. I'm just saying what I'd like. No.
Like
I'd
right
like
now?
to
There you
do
go.
more. No, I don't
Right now?
know. No, I would
I would like to do
we
the
did a
Pointless
good like
podcast.
10-minute we did a 10-minute bit of doing former presidents on here. We're just doing it started with accordion, and then it was him saying you're a nasty person, and it was this whole thing, and then for some reason Wild Bill came up. It's always just on the verge of like a voice crack. He's just so excited. I don't even know. I just love it. Hillary's not around. It's just going. I don't know. I just love it. I love it.
Oh,
Oh
man.
boy.
Man. There you have
then you gotta have someone to reel you in, and so Nate, let the people know where they can find us.
Here on YouTube.
Right here.
right here.
And the
You can find us here.
pointlesspodcast.com coming soon.
Let
I think that's a
he
great-
bought
I
the
think it's so
the
fun.
domain name.
Pointless Podcast.
Is the Pointless Podcast .com.
Hey,
That's how we do it.
this guy, he can't stop.
Can't stop.
We just got to
Can't
cut him
stop.
off.
Oh, and now he goes back to Johnny Carson. Now Johnny Carson spazzing out.
That's why Joe
Hey.
said that.
Yeah.
He was talking about trying to get more control of the mics.
That's
Oh.
true.
Start off because he
So
wants
he
to
can
be able to
mute
just
us.
like
That's right.
He said
He
control.
should.
He wanted to get more
He
control
should.
of Mike.
Hey, there you have it. Thanks
It's
for
real
tuning in.
man.
We're cutting him off. We're cutting him off. He can't be stopped.
that's the end of
Thanks for tuning in. You can reach out to us on Instagram. That's at Star Wars Guys Pod. If you made it this far, for whatever reason, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the podcast with a friend. We'll catch you guys next time. Smash the notification bell. We'll catch you next time. And as always, may the Force be with you.
No way! Now I'm Jimmy Fallon, and I'm excited. No way! That's unbelievable. I'm old Hayden Christensen, just
Right
doing.
back to it.
I'm not really sure why I'm here, but I love Star Wars and
Star Wars.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
like
all.
Sam.
Yeah, it's been very humbling to come back. I don't know.